All right, all right, all right.
All right, welcome
Uh,
back to the NC Edge podcast. I know we said we were going to be more consistent with this thing, but just life be life and stuff. For those who are new, we're Against the Edge, a band from various parts of Texas. Me and the bass player are from El Paso. Our vocalist is in Lubbock, and yeah, we're a band bringing you some hits and jams and all that stuff. And we're here to talk about stuff.
yep, that's
Sounds
the
about
gist
right.
of it.
Yeah. So what's new, guys? What y'all been up to since the last episode?
Uh, Lots of stuff, which means nothing. Absolutely nothing, actually. The
A lot
biggest
of stuff
difference,
in the
yeah,
process, not really executed though.
yes, absolutely. It
Yeah.
is, and especially because so at the time of filming, this is like December 19th, and I just put down my plan and actually Against the Edge was a part of it, how of like the songs that we want to put out for 2025 or like where we are in the process for songs and stuff. And I put out my list for solo stuff, and then we put together a list for the Against the Edge stuff, or at least Eric did. And I just wrote down a list as Eric put it out and stuff. But that's just about what, other than our Against the Edge news, which we'll get to in a second, I'm sure.
Yes.
We that's pretty much the song list, the 2025 song list, where we're at with some songs and doing stuff.
But the biggest news is we actually did do a thing. We
We
released
did
a
a thing.
single. We
We
did a
did
thing.
do a
We released
single.
a single. It's called Safe Room on all social media platforms or music streaming platforms rather. And yeah, Safe Room featuring you from the band Merging Moon,
Yeah,
sick ass vocalist.
Oh yeah, no,
sick
very
as hell.
awesome.
Yeah, I
So
don't think you ever
brutal.
explained how you got her on the track. You just messaged her, right?
Yeah, I literally just messaged her. I was like, "Hey, do you want to work with us?" She was like, "Sure."
Fucking, that's wild.
Yeah,
That's all you
I
need to
reached
know.
I reached out to her. Well, I mean, it was that simple of a process, but saying that makes it sound a lot easy, like as if every process is just that simple, and it is absolutely not. We as
Sometimes it
Against the
is.
Edge, yeah, we as Against the Edge have tried working with other people before, and we
God.
just don't hear back. Full stop. Or,
Yeah.
they're busy, they can't, for many different reasons and stuff. And this one was about as straightforward as, other than a language barrier, which was not a big deal because she is Japanese, she does speak Japanese, her English it's not her first language. She uses a translator sometimes, but other than that, it was not difficult. I didn't even email her. I just messaged her, and I wrote it out all kind of formal, uh and, and just tried to not be a dick, which in theory isn't that difficult, and uh attached our music, said who we are, what we want to do, what kind of song we wanted to write. And yeah, she wrote back that she was interested, and these are this is the parameters, and it was just a go from there.
That's wild. It's wild because I remember reacting to her band Merging Moon back in the very, very initial days of doing the Dichotic channel, the YouTube side of it.
Oh,
And we
sick.
reacted to her band and we're like, damn, she's really good. She's fucking waifu material, all this. So we said nothing but good things about her.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the last time we reacted to her. So like fast forward 2 years or so, and then you showed us her, and I was just like, oh wow, she's really good. I didn't realize it was the same person.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I did more of a deep dive into it. It's like, oh no, wait, that's the same girl. What the fuck? So I was like, yeah, small world kind of situation.
You know what's awful is the worst part of this whole thing. No, none of this is awful. This is the worst part of it. The singular part of it is the worst part. Is that we've had this going for a year,
Yeah.
and we had her on the books to work with her before Nick Nocturnal worked with her, before she worked with anybody else. We largely probably would have been one of her first collaborations if we were anywhere close to finish with the song when we got her on board. Like, genuinely, it was like we got the okay, and a month goes by and the Nick Nocturnal release came out, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah. And then they
It blew
released a
up.
new song too, which we reacted to, and the people in our chat were actually like very excited for us to react to that new Merging Moon track, and we're just like, oh, I couldn't bring it up in the moment, but I really wanted to. I was just like, oh yeah, we're working with her.
Sure you
Right.
could have.
Yeah, but it do be like that.
Yeah.
But
But I'm very excited. This is the uh I don't want to say what I was most excited about in a very long time, but that's kind of it feels that way because this is a collaborator that I was very excited about working with in a style of music that we haven't really done, that Eric said during the process he's had a hard time writing, and that we were able to get out. Um, yeah, it was very good and exciting. It is out. So I mean, we're talking about a song that it is out. We're not talking about
yep,
future releases at this point. You can go listen to
out.
it now, so
Yep.
you know what we're talking about.
Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, whatever, Amazon Music, it's
Safe
there.
room.
Safe Room, look it up. But yeah,
Yeah,
other
we'll
than
put up
that,
more
okay.
content about it. We'll talk about it more. I've been meaning to put together, and I was just thinking about this yesterday, putting together a video. I was going through our chats about how it all came together, sort of a timeline, and I was going to put together that kind of video.
Dope. A something recent that just came out was the Jared Dines Musician Mansion thing. I think it's a really fucking cool concept. The first season was really good, but this one they definitely like upped it
I
up,
never saw it.
ramped
I
it up. It's
don't,
so good
yeah,
now.
I
I
don't
know
know
of it.
what it is.
Like I know of it because I mean I follow obviously a lot of those YouTubers, but I never actually watched it. I've seen like their side of it just like through through their Instagram like stories, but that's
All
about
vlogs
it.
and stuff.
Yeah, but I haven't actually seen the actual episodes.
Highly recommend. It's a really good show. Like shout out to Jared Dines for doing something
Oh,
like that.
you can
That's
tell that they had
crazy.
fun with it too.
Oh yeah. Hey, but no, what got me was this second season, right? They had a bunch of people I never heard of, and they're a bunch of really small channels. So I'm just like I looked them all up and they're all like very, very small. Like well, I mean, relatively
What
big,
what
but
is very, very small? Like what are we talking about
they
here?
have a couple
Like a few
thousand.
hundred
Oh,
thousand.
okay.
No, no, not a few hundred thousand, just a couple thousand
Okay.
Yeah, that was
subscribers
a
each.
joke,
Okay.
Maybe
obviously.
like 18 was like the most I saw for one of them,
Okay.
18K, which I was just like, maybe we could potentially go on there. That
Yeah.
sounds like fun. But
We
yeah,
need
it's
more
a
than our
really
we
good
need
show. I
more than
like the
our like
concept a lot.
60 subscribers, I think.
Yeah. It's funny. I saw one of the dudes that I actually interviewed once
Oh,
on the
nice.
show. I was like, oh shit, because he appeared randomly. His name is David Lyon, and he popped into one of our chats one time. He's like, hey, can you guys check out my new single or whatever? And we're like, yeah, cool, let's fucking do it. We checked it out,
Cool.
we liked it, and we had him on for an interview. And he's a really cool dude. Like he's
Sick.
really like it was a fun one of the funnest conversations I had doing like interviews and stuff like that. So, and then I just saw him randomly there on the Musician Mansion episode, and I was like, hey, I know that guy. Really cool.
That's
That's
sick as
pretty
hell.
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, probably you should try to get on season 3 as the vocalist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Do
get that
it.
worked out.
Yes, sir. I'll send you the link wherever the signups are.
All right. Oh man. That's good. I was gonna put together a video because I was looking at hook videos, and an idea that I come up with is when you realize you're not a good enough screamer for the song you want to write, and then turn to like a side camera is like you find someone better, and then you is just screaming the fuck out of the song.
That would be dope.
Oh man. Yeah. What else? It'd be really cool too for like an interview or like a video idea would be to interview somebody like Andrew Huberman, the neuroscientist, and just
Mhm.
ask him questions about like how music and stuff relates
Human
to like your
brain.
brain and all that
Oh
stuff. He's done an
my.
episode on it, but I would like to get more in depth. He gave kind of like a general gist of stuff that happens with music and certain
Like try to
stuff.
actually break it down.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I like I enjoyed that episode, but I'd be quoted or like Jordan Peterson too. Like he's a psychologist and like have him break down like something like uh
Don't do
what's it
that.
called?
He's a weird guy. He's a weird guy.
No, like
But
just leave the politics aside. Like fuck the politics. Just get down to the psychology
sure.
side of it.
Right to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, just like
There's a
depression, why fucking musicians get into that like rock star lifestyle with all the drugs and shit.
Mm.
Like
there's a video that's it's probably like 15 years old at this point, but I saw like my senior year of high school, our science teacher, which would have been like astronomy, I think, put it on. It was the beginning of TED Talks and stuff. And this wasn't a TED Talk, but it was TED Talk-esque. It's from a panel called Notes and Neurons, and it's Bobby I can't remember his name, but the guy who does the "Don't Worry, Be Happy" song.
Bob
And
Marley.
no, that's not, oh, wait, yeah, but the a cappella version that he
Uh,
got, Bobby McFerrin, I think is his name. And anyway, I'm gonna go with that, Bobby McFerrin. And he, with the audience, like he gets the audience who are there as a science panel, not as a music panel, to sing the pentatonic scale just by like dancing on stage, just by like jumping on certain spots on stage. And the
uh,
crowd sings it like perfectly. It was crazy. And
It's interesting.
but yeah, I get that like, and it was called Notes and Neurons. So
no
like that
shit.
connection between the brain and science and like how closely related one has on the other and stuff, like the effect one has on the other and stuff. But yeah,
It's so fascinating, all that stuff. Like, I want to get down into it and just like know, understand it.
Yeah,
get
that's a
into
good
Yeah,
point.
take some classes, man. Get into the music psychology stuff.
maybe. Oh my God, that sounds like a lot of reading. I'd rather just listen to people talk
Rather
about.
just listen to someone else do
Yeah, he's already done the research. You could just summarize it for me.
right.
Yeah, or just get AI. Okay, summarize this whole book in 10 sentences or less.
Put this for put this 9 year degree into an 8 minute video.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Well, it was that easy.
Yes. Be an expert at many things at this point. Actually, that's not true because I still watch many gaming videos instead of videos about neurons and neurology.
Oh man, dude, AI is so useful. Just for the grammar and punctuation stuff, you just put a sentence, be like, correct this spelling, punctuation, grammar, and it just does it.
Yeah.
We make a lot of our scripts using it too. I mean, we don't read them like word for word, but it just gives us a good outline for what we need to say when we're doing our new stuff on the Decodic channel.
Hmm.
So good. Just don't use it
I
to
don't
write your music.
right. I don't know
Dear God,
if
no.
we had been did we do the podcast before or after Decodic had their big shift?
About the same time. Oh no, well the podcast started way before that.
No, no, but I mean our last episode.
Our last episode, no. We were already doing new stuff at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can't remember if that's what we were talking about or if that was a because I remember we talked about it a bit, but I don't know if it was on
Yeah.
like podcasts and stuff.
Well, it's technically not
I
Decodic.
think,
It's technically its own podcast now.
yeah, but I think in that time frame we did, you guys already had released Toxic Walrus,
Yeah.
which is already kind of like slightly new stuff happening and whatnot.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you heard the music video, I believe, for that
I
one, and that
think
was like the
so. I
most
don't
recent one.
remember.
Yeah.
When did it come out? Let me see.
Tyler,
The
what have
last
you been up
episode.
to? Oh, I don't know.
Work, mainly work.
That's all of us, man.
I know,
Heck
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just really, yeah,
I get
working.
it.
But other than that, just with our other band, mine and Eric's other band, Siphon, just you know, practicing, getting new material out, trying to get new material out at the moment.
Yeah.
pretty much just finalizing things and writing new stuff as well. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
hmm That's pretty much it.
Uh,
I know we try to spend not a lot of time talking about music because it's like not stuff that's out yet and we can't really do anything about it. But because Safe Room is out, I do think we can spend some time talking about it.
All right.
It is out. You can listen to it. We've gone over how you got involved, and you is such a it's a great name, but it's also a confusing name when you're referring when you're like talking to somebody because when I say you
Oh, who's
involved, it's like
singing? You.
yeah, you
What? I'm not singing this. Yeah, no, no, you is singing. I'm not singing. Like you,
yeah,
the singer,
exactly.
you. I'm not
Um,
you.
so but how what did I remember a bit of the timeline, but uh tell us a bit about the song about Safe Room from your guys' perspective. Like Chowder, you um yeah, like Chowder, like tell us a bit about Safe Room from your perspective.
From my perspective, I mean, I just remember you telling Eric, hey, write this type of music. I want a Japanese like anime intro type of song. Write it. And he's like, I don't know. And then like literally a few days later, like I have a rough draft. So I'm like, oh crap, I have to write to this. And usually it's like more far-fetched. But I don't know. I just fell into place with it. Like I didn't like listen like 2 hours like on my parts like or more like an hour or something. I don't know. Like I just got Eric to show me the skeletal structure just to get the basic root notes to be like okay, this is the main pattern. Now go from there. So I'm like okay, cool. So and I just started tracking and what came out is just what's on the track. Literally just on that same day I wrote it all right then and there. And it was fun because I thought it was gonna be really challenging. Like not that it wasn't challenging, but I thought it was gonna be way more difficult than what it ended up being. Just the way it sounded and like I don't know the weird. There are some spots that sound easier that are actually harder, and vice versa. Most of the song sounds like it's harder to play than what I actually ended up doing with it. But so that was actually very interesting. It felt like flipped on how I usually do things, but it just fell into place pretty easily.
I think it
Um,
was one of the first times when you actually were like, because you have come to my house to record many times before, but this was the first time where you're just like, no, I don't want to play just what you play. Like, I want to do my own thing. And you actually sat down and were like,
I had already had that mentality for a while, but yes, um this is when I really started like being like, nah, screw you, I'm doing my shit.
yeah.
And yeah,
Screw you.
pretty much. Which I mean, yeah, before Dichotic, I was pretty much just mainly playing the same thing that the guitars were doing, which is not necessarily a bad thing to do, but I mean, it's nice to stand out every once in a while for just doing something different. So yeah, that's one of the times where I was like, nope, I'm doing it this way now. And yeah, I mean, where it fits, I will keep like the main riff. Like if it feels like it's gonna build into something else after, then I'll build after. But like you just gotta start small and then just like work your way up. So that's the mentality I had on that one, and I think that's when I started being able to write to a lot more things faster and just make it more unique just by doing that. And it's funny too because with our other project, there's a song that we had done. I think it's The Spine, and it's a very straightforward song. And even on the bass, I pretty much just like write it out the same. Like I basically do what I used to do, but that was actually just my choice and not because I had to just do it that way. And I remember our guitarist Paco, he was like. Well, what the hell? I thought you said you wanted to do things differently and do your own thing. Like, yeah, like where it seems to fit. Like this one was like a driven song that just needed to coast with everything else to align better. With Safe Room, there was a lot of free space to like roam around in and like actually just do different things here and there. And yeah, that's I had a blast writing to that one, and that's when like I really started expanding on how I write things. But I really wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for Dichotic when the time that I spent with that band because they're like like Alan is the one that really showed me how to stay in the pocket, be able to like do all these changes. Granted, most of those songs were still written by somebody else that I had to learn how to play, and by having to play that so often, it gave me the sense of being able to hear where things land differently. With like all the notes, the low notes like matching more with the toms or the kicks, and the snare and the cymbals going more with the higher notes and everything. And then like finding like the upbeat instead of hitting it always on the 4/4, like hitting it like on the upbeat instead on the downbeat. So all that kind of stuff just really, really fell into place. And that was like I think the first time I actually honed in on it was with this one, Safe Room.
That would have
And
been those parts. Those would have been Spencer's parts then, right? Is that his name?
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
Steven Spencer.
yeah.
Stefan.
Shout out to him,
Yeah. Well, yeah, just having that example alone, like having an example of how to do certain things, it does a lot.
It
Because
does.
once you have the skill and you know how to use it, then
I mean, that's what I started telling like some people that I knew that were learning guitar that are way better at guitar now than they were when they started was like, yeah, learn the basics, learn what you need to learn, obviously, but then people are like, well, how do you make your own style? Like, dude, honestly, everything's an imitation nowadays. So literally, uh, learn like a song of a style that you want to learn. Like if you're really into punk or something, like yeah, go with Green Day or like Sum 41, Simple Plan, like learn that kind of stuff. Sugar Cult. Learn things like that and then you'll see what matches with you and what doesn't and then just branch off. Like I'll take something from here, I'll take something from there, and then eventually you blend things and make your own style out of it. I mean,
So,
everybody has their own influences and that's literally how you get your own sound is just, your interpretation of somebody else's work. I mean, it's been like that for centuries, you know?
yeah.
my advice to beginning guitarist is stop and don't learn. I don't need the competition.
We don't need any more musicians right now.
You're oversaturated, dude. Find something else. Play the tuba, bro. You're good.
Right. There you go. You know where there's not a ton of competition? That's not true. There's probably just as much competition in like the high level tuba space. But
The-
Eric,
Name one major tuba player out in this world right now.
I can't.
well, I'm not in the space, so
Fair doesn't attune to our demographic.
right.
Watch us
Er-
Google a fucking tuba player and he's just like ripping it the whole time. It's like, damn, this guy fucking
This
shreds,
guy's
dude.
so
Yeah,
metal.
got fucking rules.
I want to look up tuba metal now.
Oh, it's probably out there.
I
There's,
wouldn't doubt
it's
it. It
very funny.
exists.
Eric, tell us about Safe Room.
Yeah, like Chowder was saying, you kind of were the one that challenged me to do it. You're like, hey, I have these words, I got the melody, write me a metalcore song. I was just like, all right, give it
Oh,
the old
that's
college try.
right.
And I could tell you right now that I was not expecting the final product like at all to sound how it does.
Is that
And
good
so I
or
just
bad?
kind of went with it blind. I had the riffs in my head and I was kind of
Yeah.
fooling around with them. And then little by little, I think I was in the middle of a siphon practice or something when I was putting the song together. We were
You're
supposed to be tracking stuff for
you're
siphon, but I
putting
was there. I was like, hold on, guys, I got something. I'm cooking.
you like
Let him
write
cook.
this like really good riff. It's like, oh, this is for the other band.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have a bad tendency to do that. I'm so sorry.
Hey, check this out, guys. Oh, that sounds awesome. When are we
For
gonna
the
start
other
using
band
it?
though.
Oh, that's for this band. Like, oh,
But yeah,
I think
kind of
yeah, good.
writing it was um I
that's
just was thinking of like my favorite As I Lay Dying song and just kind of doing an homage to that as opposed to ripping it off, which I tend to do with most riffs.
but that's right. I forgot that's how it started. Yes, it was what I said about like Fable telling you do it this style, but I forgot he
Yeah.
actually gave a voice recording of the melody he had in mind already, as well.
So yeah, I used your melody to write the chorus part. And
Yeah.
then after that was just like, okay, how do I get to the chorus? And it was just a bunch of riffs
Yeah, he had
coming
something to go with
together
after that already.
little by little. And yeah, once the final product came out, I was like, oh shit, like I didn't think I could do it, but it came out.
Hmm.
And the
Yep,
final
same with me.
product isn't super different from the demo. It's only like one like lead change. And then well the mixing and mastering makes it sound way different, but yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it for me. Just writing it was just like, oh shit, I did it.
Yeah, one of the things you said is you had tried writing metalcore before, and I for whatever reason you couldn't, but you wouldn't know that if you heard the final product or even the demo of what came out from Safe Room because it was, I mean, it is very metalcore, um, and that was uh, yeah, kind of the beginning of the whole thing. I sent you a voice recording. I said, Eric, write me a chorus for this. And from there, it not a whole lot longer. I very quickly realized that this isn't going to be a song that it didn't make sense, the perspective that I was writing to like expand on that for a whole song without making me sound like an ass, which the chorus, I'm supposed to sound like an ass, but hearing a whole song of
You're
that
the
is not.
vocalist, of course.
Exactly. So it's not so, it wouldn't have been fun, at least lyrically speaking, for the listener if they decide to, listen, look up the lyrics, all that stuff. So that's when you got involved. It was I made it a dual perspective song. I wrote out the choruses, and it was the dual perspective song came from uh, the reason you got involved is because it's a dual perspective song. It is two different people singing for two perspectives. And so that's how the rest of it came about. It was actually a lot more work, back and forth between all of us and stuff, but we got it mixed by Aaron Prentice, who's of Astringency, very good musician and stuff. Love working with him. And yeah, it was, yeah, it's a great song all around. It's definitely my favorite song of ours.
That's I mean, aside from all the crazy dichotic stuff I've done, this is the most proud of a song that I've ever been. Probably my proudest moment. Just because I had a bigger hand in this one than I've had in most songs. So
Eric has a heavy hand in a lot of our songs now. It is either Eric sending us a song, or it is, hey, Eric, write me this song.
Yeah, we got into the habit of being like, okay,
Yeah,
try this style. Can you do like something like
yeah.
some Papa Roach
Like
sounds?
I'll
You want to
send
go
him
for
a
baby
lyric.
metal?
Yeah, I'll send him a
basically
lyric
an
and I'll be
AI
like,
prompt. Well,
Eric, I want to write a song about strawberries. Write
Shit.
me this song.
Got you, fam. It just does it.
But
I
lately I've been like I have ideas for several songs right now, but I'm just like I've been so demotivated to actually get up and
Track them.
record them. So I'm so behind right now on shit for everything. So I gotta get back into it.
that is so real. Is I uh do fucking nothing a lot. And it's awful because I do have a rig. We all have recording rigs, and it,
Chowder never uses his. Never.
Because we're always at yours, at your
yeah,
You go
there
place.
we
to
go.
my house to
That
record.
works. But like the time it takes, it is genuinely like recording is a process. I don't want anybody to think that like recording is not a process. So
What are you
like the
talking about? I
time
crank out a song in a day.
yes, if you can do that, incredible. I cannot do that. It
Mm-mm.
is a fucking chore and it is a process every single step of the way. The quickest that I've ever finished a song was, I mean, months, probably months. I cannot turn out a song quickly. And that's working on it consistently. So like one of the things that I struggle most with like my personality type, with my work, the work ethic that I've apparently cultivated in myself, I have to get myself to do things. I have to get myself to record. And Eric, I feel that a lot that there's just some times where you're just like, I don't wanna.
Yep. And it's so easy too. It's like right there. It's like
It
it's two
is
feet
right.
away, but do I really want to get up and walk 2 feet to my rig?
Yeah,
Uh,
like I'm looking at it right here. It's plugged in and everything.
no.
And I actually have the actual like quarter inch right next to me on the floor. It's right here.
Yep. I mean, but aside from the motivation, like yours is probably the hardest to record and get right just because
Hmm.
you have the most unreliable instrument. You know, we could be miserable and still play play pretty well. I'm like, but if you're miserable and sick and stuff, you're not gonna
Oh yeah,
be
that's
able to
fair.
sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like, where are you
You
going with
gotta have the
this?
right conditions. Like the room has to be treated properly and junk. So it's like,
yeah, it does suck. Luckily, Safe Room was very quick. Safe Room I did in either one session or a couple of sessions. I can't remember, but I recorded it with Aaron, and it my voice was feeling pretty rough by the end of it and stuff. And had I needed to do anything else, had it not wrapped up right when it did, it probably would have had to leak into another day and stuff. Where like I've had recording sessions where I'm on guitar and you know I'm not going to say I can go forever on guitar and stuff because obviously fatigue and my I'm not up to chops and all that stuff probably now, but uh, yeah, when my voice because I'm not singing all the time, I'm not a performing act and stuff. My voice is not I don't have as much endurance as, a lot of touring vocalists and people who are singing all the
Yet,
time, every day and
which is
stuff.
a problem. You should work on that.
yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if this thing ever takes off for whatever reason, or
Yeah,
you're gonna
we'll get
need
it.
you. You're gonna
Yeah,
need you, buddy.
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Get on Musician Mansion, dude. You never know. Like you might find the motivation again.
Yeah.
They will push you to do it, dude.
Oh, I believe it. I do meet the occasion. So, when it's time to record something, like I don't miss someone needs something recorded by this time, like I'm getting it done. It's it's my shit that
Yeah,
I lax on. I'm not going to leave I'm not going to leave someone else holding the bag.
true. That's what I like about our band. Just I don't have to. I don't have deadlines. But the dichotic stuff, there's a lot of deadlines.
Yeesh.
That might be our problem.
I
Actually,
know.
something that genuinely is demotivating when it comes to the three of us is I do genuinely enjoy working with the both of you. The thing that sucks is we could have all of our stuff demoed. The thing that sucks is we then have to find a drummer, which we have yet to find someone consistent that, uh, like we have a feel for that realistically we can consistently afford, and that fits a timetable because that's at least in our process, that's the root of that's where recording starts. The drummer records to a demo, then guitars and bass get tracked to final drums. And, in theory, my vocals could go anytime, but, uh, my writing process, the lyrics typically take longer for me than, you know, the rest of the process, which sucks and I apologize. But knowing that we still have to go through this whole process, even when we have a song demoed, sucks. That like we have to find a drummer and then a
Yep.
mix engineer and all that stuff. So that sucks.
Yep. And finding a good one for cheap is like the hardest fucking thing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, but
Yeah.
realistically, if we want to put out music at any kind of pace, we can't pay $600 every time we want to release a song for
Yep.
mixing and mastering and stuff. Like I get this is people's livelihood and stuff like that, but if we want to release with any sort of consistency, with any sort of frequency,
Yep.
it's just not realistic for us.
If we were making more money, yeah, okay, obviously, yeah,
Yeah,
throw it down, but we do not.
we
Not
do
right
not.
now, not at
We
this
got
time.
bills. We got bills.
We
And
gotta
that's
adult.
yeah.
Indeed. But yeah,
Adulting sucks.
it really does.
The worst part of
And
being an adult is bills. The best part, also the worst part of being an adult. The second worst part of being an adult is there's no one to stop me from driving down the street and getting Bahama Bucks literally anytime I want.
yep.
That is true.
Or that feeling when you finally have enough money to get that piece of gear you want, and it's just like, yes,
Bills.
No, that's why. Like
Just
when your
finally
bills
get
are
it.
paid, you have that little bit left
Ah,
over. You're like, oh, I can buy this piece of equipment now.
I can buy this $700 guitar that
then
Yeah.
didn't
nowhere you get a
need.
flat tire.
Oh, tires you can get relatively cheap. It's fine.
I see Eric's like every other week. Eric has a different guitar on sale for $400.
That's so I could pay for the new piece of equipment that I want.
Yeah.
No,
Well, is this song this one on the 7 string?
no,
No.
it's in drop C sharp on the 6 string though.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
surprisingly, it's still in our regular range.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sick.
I could write more 7 strings. So I think the next demo I have that I'll have for this band will be on the 7. So
Okay.
All right.
yes, sir.
Good stuff. We have at mostly every point. There was like a month where we were drop C, but we very quickly went back and I think all of our other songs that we've released so far are in C sharp,
Yeah.
drop C
Yep.
sharp.
That's just the perfect middle point, you know.
Yeah, I like it.
I
It's
mean, half
So
probably my
step's always
favorite
been my
tuning.
favorite tuning. Yeah, I love
mm,
half step with a passion. That's like my favorite tuning, the way it sounds and everything. Ugh, and then just drop it. hmm
yes, sir.
Did I tell you boys we got coverage that we got picked up by um a press release?
Oh
The
shit.
press
Yeah,
release.
keep going. I'll try to find it. I can't
All right.
I'll read it when I find it. It's in Portuguese, I
Fuck yeah.
think.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not sure if I told you this from the last time we spoke, but well, I mean, Eric knows this because yeah,
I know.
he's not convinced me. But I have a Helix now. I'm not sure if I told you that.
Oh, sick. No, you didn't tell
Yes,
me.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was on special, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll get it. I have a decent job now. I'm like, okay, this is my first major expense in a while. So I got the credit card, and that same day I got it approved and was able to get it that same day.
Plus the
So I'm like,
deal they
hell
have
yeah.
on it is ridiculous right now.
Dude, I
So
have the case with it too. It's the
yeah.
Line 6 Helix LT, and it came with the Gator hard case.
Yeah,
And
dude.
yeah, no, it was a great buy.
Yep. It's
So
48
awesome.
months, no interest, like,
Yeah.
and
Actually,
it's
no,
like 100,
that was
200
maybe
bucks
with
off.
you, but with the case included and everything, I have 36.
30. I mean, which is still great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't take
48 would
financial
be
advice
nice.
from
So
us. Whoever's listening, don't take financial advice from us.
Oh,
we
definitely not.
goes back to
I'm
what we were talking about. The good and bad thing about being an adult is you're
Yes.
free to buy whatever you want. That's
Yes,
the
you
good
are.
and bad part.
that's good and bad. Oh man. I mean, another thing about this song too, now that it's released, it's super motivating now. I feel like we could crank out these next couple ones much faster
Oh yeah.
and be on more of a consistent thing if everything goes well.
Yes, I don't want to like harsh the vibes, but we also said that about the podcast.
I know. I mean, the podcast is the pod. We have
That's
like
Yeah,
the
no,
that's
one,
a side thing.
if even one listener. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, true. I get what you mean fully, especially because we've gone back and forth on this kind of a lot because it seems like we're all saying the same thing, but we kind of have to keep bringing it up a little bit that like our stuff that we had previously written, we're I am a little less motivated to put effort into those.
hmm
But there's a couple of songs in particular that we've talked about on here before that I am very excited to write and get out there and stuff.
yep. One in particular is almost done. I just got to do the final guitars for, and then you got to track vocals, but that should
Yeah.
be very quick.
Yeah, I have half of them done. It's one that's particularly rough on the voice.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, sometimes that happens, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. It is.
Should we
It's
go
a good
lower
one.
on that one? Should we go
Nah,
another half step
No.
lower?
nah, I
No.
think it's good.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna read it out. This is from Metal. What is it called?
Metal sucks.
Um,
Oh my god.
Metal Junk Box.
I wish. All right.
North American. So it's very short, but it's basically just to like put it out there and stuff. North American band Against the Edge. This is translated from Portuguese.
Hmm.
North American band Against the Edge has just released its latest single titled "Safe Room" on December 6th, and features Yu Umehara. Coming from El Paso, Texas, Against the Edge presents a modern and very cohesive sound that can travel through various styles and aspects of heavy metal, ranging from alternative metal through melodic death metal to metalcore. Interesting.
Okay.
That's a new one. I don't think I've
Ex
ever gotten death metal before.
Exquisitely balancing weight and melodies. It's really worth checking out the work that Against the Edge has been presenting. They realistically might just be writing based off of this song, which even then I don't get metal. Sorry, I don't get death metal, but the rest of it I can kind of see.
Yeah. No, there's no. Yeah, death metal's mostly all
Well, I'm
fast
assuming
drum
it's just
picking kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
it might just
Yeah.
be the oversimplification of like the vocals that
yeah,
you
maybe.
presented.
Oh, the vocal style is very death.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Not
So
Yeah,
not the
maybe.
not
All
not the
right.
music, the vocals. I can kind of see that.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, sure.
I really like
That's
that.
cool though.
I really like that I am the least like this is not meant to be sarcastic. I mean this genuinely. I like that I am the least exciting part of this song.
You're pretty much just the chorus, no?
Yeah. Well, the bridge too,
Oh yeah, the bridge.
but I mean it's just the intro is so cool. The you know the support is so cool. The absolutely used screams are so cool and stuff. And then you get some melody in there too, but it's just kind of sprinkled on there and stuff. But
Which is also cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was very proud of it when I wrote it. And not that I'm not still proud of it, but there is so much cool going on in the song that I'm fine being the least exciting part of the song.
My
That's
favorite part
that's
of
that's
your vocal
surprising.
specifically is like in the last chorus where you're saying the vocal line and then the vocal line's being repeated after, like
Yeah,
faintly in the background. I love that.
I think we did that because we got a final mix, like it was titled Final Mix, and I was just like, there's just so much space here. And then it's
That's
like,
what it was.
hey, can I add something? And yeah, so that's a it was a great addition. I appreciate that you like it.
Yep.
It was because it felt very empty there.
Dope. But yeah, be on the
I
lookout
also
for some
yeah,
new stuff soon, hopefully.
I also
What was that?
like songs where they have the chorus like reiterated in like tags and stuff like that. So that was
Hmm.
good to
Yeah.
have.
I like it when like guitar solos that are the vocal melody but like done in guitar.
Oh
I
yeah, I've
love
Mm.
always
those.
liked that too.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
I like in the bridge. I like Eric's guitar part in the bridge. It's very uh I think the bridge is cool vocally, like the screams and the singing like side by side, but I really like the guitar that's under that. The wee wah, wee,
Oh yeah,
leading up to the basically the leading up to the pause and then the guitar solo. Uh,
it's a very Azalea dying thing.
mm,
Nice.
yeah, I really like that guitar line.
Yeah,
Thanks.
but moving forward, I really can't wait for this next song. I remember like in like one of the earlier podcasts, like when you two were saying Safe Room was the one you were really hoping for. This next one is the one that I was excited for.
Oh
But
yeah.
now I kind
What
of like
sucks is I gotta
save for more.
remember everything I wrote for that song. I have not played
I
it
think I
to
remember
its
like
completion since I
70%
wrote
of
it.
it, and the other part I can easily just
That'll
re-figure
be
it out.
it'll be easy, yeah. I just gotta hear the isolated tracks and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, could do that.
Yeah, this is one that was very 3 Days Grace inspired.
Very.
Yeah, and then I added a bass groove instead of following the same guitar that they usually do. So yeah, I definitely changed it up. I think that's why I'm excited because I like how I really like made it very different just by like the feel of the bass.
Yep.
That's why I was like more excited about this one.
Isolated sounds like ass, but in the mix. Sounds fantastic.
Of course.
That's what you're hoping for is it doesn't matter how it sounds isolated. It's all about the
Yeah.
mix.
That's one thing we've learned in the past is if it
Yeah.
sounds like shit like right off the bat, like just your tones and everything just on its own, it's gonna sound great in the mix. Like
Yep.
combined, yes.
Well, Glenn
Because if
Fisher
you get
even
your
says
own
it
proper
too.
sound, yeah. So if you get your own proper sound and it sounds good, it might not mix well and it might just
Right.
be weird. I don't know. But if the tones are crap separately, combined, they're magical.
Yes. When you're mixing, never isolate tracks. You want to mix
Get the full
using the
effect.
entire thing, yeah,
Mm.
so you can
Yeah,
hear how
so
it all fits together.
something I say a lot is numbers mean nothing without context.
Yeah.
And it's the same with individual tracks, because obviously obviously there's an element like, vocals can be out of tune, guitars can be a little off rhythm and stuff, but when we're talking about tone, like, it really means nothing out of context. It means nothing, your EQs mean nothing out of context.
Hmm.
Yep,
It's all about the mix.
Yeah.
indeed. I gotta get better at that so we could just stop.
Do it all ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
All in due time.
All in due
That's
time.
what I like to think.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yeah. You guys got anything else?
Think nah.
Nah.
I'm hungry.
Me too, actually. I'm very hungry.
Seems to be a
All
good
right.
point to end it so we can get food then.
Exactly. Yes. And plus I gotta get going too. So great
Fair.
catching up with you boys. Next Thursday, I swear to God. We're fucking we gotta do it next Thursday. Meet up. All right. So no promises, chat or whatever, but
I
I'm more
say chat
committed
a
to my
lot now.
food.
next Thursday, we better do it. All right. Thank you guys so
Bring
much for
your
listening. We'll catch you guys in the next podcast. Goodbye.